Hey, so welcome to another dog training. It's not a tip really, it's more of a rant, but I hope that you'll pick up some tips from it, some information from it that will help you better understand your dog. So I was at the dog park the other day and I met a woman. It's her first time owning a dog, first time dog owner. And she rescued a 5-month-old puppy that had been adopted out and sent back for whatever reason. She never told me the reason why. But the puppy is very sweet and submissive, but being a puppy, like wants to play. The significant thing about this puppy is it's blind in one eye. Now I don't know why or how it became blind in that eye, but she did mention to me it was blind in one eye. So I was walking past a dog park to go to some trails to do a hike. There's just a nice little trail system behind the dog park that I like to go to. I don't like to go to the dog park, I like to go to the trails. And the dog park is there. Well, she was actually coming out of the dog park. And she was coming out of the big side, the dogs for dogs over 25 pounds, and was headed towards the small side, dogs under 25 pounds. And I said, you can't bring him in there. This is for dogs under 25 pounds, and he's definitely over 25 pounds. He's a really big puppy, really big puppy. And she said, yeah, but the big dogs, he was getting scared, and they were playing too rough with him, so how am I supposed to socialize him with other dogs? Well, this is how you're supposed to socialize your puppy with other dogs. Only let him around other dogs that you know and trust to be well behaved. And well behaved doesn't mean overly playful but friendly, but rough and tough tumble play, but friendly. Because another friendly dog might not like rough and tumble play. Like my dog Cookie, she's very friendly and loves to play with other dogs, but does not like rough and tumble wrestling. It's no contact play for her, chase and be chased. A little bit of sparring with the front feet, but no rough and tumble, no mouthing, no getting on top, no knocking down and wrestling. None of that. She doesn't like it. So keep in mind that just because your dog is friendly, if they rough and tumble play with another dog who doesn't like that kind of play, is somebody's getting hurt, mentally or physically, or both. So I explained to her that you need to have controlled play sessions with other dogs, preferably adult, that are well socialized and understand dog language. And she looked at me kind of funny. And she's like, what do you mean understand dog language? Don't they innately know their language? No, they don't. They learn their language from their pack and litter mates. And dogs are just not born with this sense of I understand dog language. They are taught that by their litter mates and their pack. It's just like humans. You have to learn your language from somebody else. You don't just grow up knowing it. Dogs are no different. So we take our dogs away from their parents, away from their litter, their mom and their litter, like at 8 weeks of age. That's like a nursery school. They might know some basic dog language things, but they need to be taught. And like Cookie, another dog will come up to her. But yeah, I'll tell you this story I saw in the dog park. This dog was obviously giving all the signals that he was a little nervous to be there. And everybody's saying the usual thing. Oh, they're just playing. Oh, he'll learn. Well, this one dog jumped on his back, started mouthing his neck, in play, but was really rough. The other dog submitted by rolling on his back and urinating and exposing his belly. Now, if the big brown dog understood dog language properly, he would have known the other dog was submitting to him and he would have backed off. But he didn't. He went in at the dog even more. And then the pack mentality hit. And a bunch of other dogs came over and started jumping on this dog. And if somebody didn't intervene, that dog would have got gutted. Because now all of a sudden there's 3 or 4 dogs on him, all jumping on him and mouthing him and snapping at him, and he gets fearful and starts snapping back to protect himself. And then a fight ensues. It broke out into a dog fight, and next thing you know, people are jumping on all the dogs, and there's people grabbing dogs by the collars and people kicking, and dogs yelping. I don't know if anybody got hurt, and I'm like, do you see how it escalated? Because somebody didn't understand dog language. One dog was giving all the signals, but the other dog wasn't listening or didn't understand. So, no, your dog doesn't grow up just understanding dog signals. They have to learn it. So she wanted to bring her dog in a small dog side. I told her she couldn't because he outweighs the other dogs, and if he's playing, somebody could get hurt. A well-intentioned, playful paw can break a little dog's back. Look at my dog. My dog has back problems because some playful dog body slammed her really hard while she was peeing. Now she has back problems for the rest of her life. So we started talking about it, how she should have some friends, with well-behaved dogs she could start socializing her dog with, but controlled, on leash, or in a small area where you can intervene, not at the dog park. And so I offered her my card, my dog trainer card. And she says, oh, I have a dog trainer. I put on the brakes. I said, wait a minute. You have a dog trainer? She goes, yeah. Did you talk to your dog trainer about bringing him to the dog park? Oh, yeah, and she said it was fine. I went, hold on a minute. And she goes, and then I went to reach down and pet the dog, and she says, oh, careful, he might snap at you. That's his bad eye. And I went, what? She goes, yeah, he's blind in one eye. Double brakes. I said, so first of all, you're a first-time dog owner. You've got a dog that's a little skittish, has been adopted and sent back and readopted. He's a little skittish. He got scared in the big dog park, and he's blind in one eye. And your dog trainer said it was okay to just bring him to the dog park. And to this particular dog park, which has a lot of problems. Maybe some other dog parks that wouldn't have been so bad. And he said it was okay to bring him here. She goes, oh, yeah. She said it was okay. It was okay. I said, you need to find another dog trainer. Not for nothing, and I hate to insult you, whoever you are, but she needs another dog trainer. I said, you know what? I will give you 6 free lessons if you fire that other dog trainer and come over to me. I'll tell you that right now. And then I told her, you know what? If you don't want to hire me, that's fine. Just meet up with me once a week, and let's just take a hike together. Or just take our dogs for a walk together. That's all. Your dog will get socialized, and get socialized correctly. Because my dog is a well-behaved dog that understands dog body language very well. And she hasn't called me. So if you're watching this, call me. This is what irks me about dog trainers. And the dog trainer she's got is a certified dog trainer. Now listen, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I have met some of the worst dog trainers in the last 5 years that were certified, that waved their little certificates around in my face. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a certified dog trainer. I've been training dogs since I'm 9 years old. And I have taken courses on dog training. I've done a lot of online courses. I've taken in-person courses. I have worked with a lot of different dog trainers just to learn from them. I've signed up for like trick classes just to learn from another trainer, a different way of doing things. I've taken continued education courses that I have credit for, which is kind of funny. I have so many certificates too, but I didn't do the test. There is a test that you can do online without taking a course. Just take the test online. And if you're willing to pay, I think it was like $375, and you answer their 20 questions correctly, you're considered a certified dog trainer. I go, hello. Anybody can do that. Just like a driver's test. Anybody can pass a driver's test. It doesn't mean that you're a good driver. It doesn't mean that you're, you know, have years of experience and that you're intuitive. Intuitive, that's the word. Because I've met certified dog trainers that were so clueless about certain things with training that I was like, how did you become a certified dog trainer? Like, my agility coach, you know, I'm paying her all this money to help me train Cookie so that we can compete in agility. And she's such a fantastic dog trainer. She just is so intuitive, and just not just with the dogs, but with the owners too. Like, she knows how to connect with us. And one day I was talking to her about the certified thing, and I said, you know, I'm wondering if I should pay the money to get certified, you know, and she goes, don't waste your money. I looked at her kind of funny, and she goes, certification only means you know how to pass a test. It doesn't mean you're an intuitive dog trainer. And once you become certified, do you do anything to learn more? And see, I am always looking for another dog training book. I am always looking to meet another trainer to learn from. And even though I'm not big on prong collars and shock collars, I know a guy that trains using them. I'm thinking of signing up for his course just so I can learn more about them, even though I don't really approve of them. It's just another thing to learn about dog training. You will pick up something good from. And she looked at me and she goes, you know, my dogs win in agility and my dogs win in obedience, but I still take obedience classes. I still take agility classes with another trainer, because you always learn more. You always learn something different that'll work with another dog that maybe you didn't need for your dog, but you needed for another dog. And that's the kind of attitude that I have. I always want to learn more. I watch videos and participate in webinars, and the amount of time I spend reading about training dogs is just a crazy amount. So I'm always out to learn more, and I learn from my mistakes, and I learn from the dogs. I'd like to meet her trainer, this woman with the puppy I was talking about. I'd like to meet her trainer and ask her, what were you thinking? You took a first-time dog owner, didn't bother to teach her anything about dog body language. Dog is blind in one eye, so is already going to be a little skittish, and you send her off to the dog park without attending with her. Like, if my client really wanted to do it, I'd be like, all right, let's do it, but I want to be there. And I would be there and instruct her and help her. I just can't believe this trainer did that. Certified dog trainer. And I understand what they're saying, like dog trainers that are certified say there needs to be a way of regulating the industry of dog training, because there's so many bad dog trainers out there. And I get that, and I understand, and I agree with that, but only in part, because I had a dog trainer in the past that we took classes with, and she was absolutely the worst dog trainer I ever met in my life. And we argued so much during class. She was absolutely terrible. Terrible. And I'm not going to mention her name or where I met her. But it was through a dog training school that gives classes to owners, not to teach them to train, but to teach them to do other things with their dogs, like obedience or whatever. And she was absolutely the worst dog trainer I ever met in my life. She was so bad. I was like, you don't get it, do you? You don't get it. And even with fantastic dog trainers, there are times where a method just might not work. And someday I'll put up videos about Cookie and how I trained her to do weave pulls. you know, we tried all the ways that the experts said. We watched Susan Garrett, and we read this book, and we read that book, and we watched that video, and we watched this video, and, you know, my coach, whom I adore, gave us different tips, and it just seemed like Cookie wasn't getting it. She wasn't enjoying it, she wasn't getting it, and she was getting frustrated, and I'm getting frustrated, and one day I saw this video of this technique that, and the technique is kind of funny because the technique is the technique I wanted to use to teach her to do weave pulls. And I was told, no, that doesn't work very good. Don't do it that way. They won't understand. And I was like, okay, you people know more than I do. That's fine. And I get it. Maybe 95% of the dogs out there learn this one way and it's fantastic. But it wasn't working with my dog. So one day I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing this other technique that I saw. Because it's what I wanted to do in the beginning anyway. So it just makes sense to me that it works. And I videotaped all the sessions. And I would do this, and I'm not kidding you, like 1 or 2 minutes. And then we were done. And we'd go do something else. And when I totaled up the amount of minutes it took to get Cookie to do the weave pulls correctly, it was right around 15 to 17 minutes worth of training, broke up over multiple days. 15 minutes, when we had been working on weave pulls for months. 15 minutes. The technique that I use and that I saw in this short little video that I found online was what she needed for her to have that aha moment. That's what they want. I get it now. So here you go. Sometimes the best trainers in the world might just need to alter their routine a little bit because they get that one trouble student. And my dog is usually the trouble student. I've talked about this before. She just, she makes me think outside the box all the time. Just the typical training methods don't always work with her. They just don't. She's, I don't know, maybe she's from Mars or something. But I gotta stop for a second. So, I forgot what I was supposed to be talking about. Oh yeah, the woman with the big black puppy. So I guess my point to this whole thing is, Cookie, leave that. Come on. My point to this whole thing is that you know, she's got herself a trainer who's a certified trainer. Or not, maybe not. I thought she said she was certified, but I could be wrong. I just can't believe the things that this trainer advised her that it was okay to do with her dog. And then I asked her, I says, does your trainer have a helper dog? And she kind of looked at me a little funny again. And I said, well, a helper dog is a dog that she owns or has access to, that's a well-behaved dog that can help teach, leave that, thank you, that can, you can use during your lessons to help teach your dog, ooh, I just tripped over something, pay attention. You know, let's say you've got a dog that has dog-to-dog aggression. Well, there are different steps that you would take to learn better focus with your dog so the dog focuses on you. But there has to be a point where you got to bring other dogs into the picture to teach your dog not to have dog aggression. But you need a really well-behaved dog. So that would be your helper dog. And my dog Cookie is a fantastic helper dog. Oh my goodness, she's such a good helper dog. And she just kind of looked at me kind of funny. So I never got a yes or no out of her, but just kind of the way she looked at me made me think that this trainer doesn't have a helper dog. And, you know, maybe you can be a good trainer without a helper dog to help you, but I just feel like that there are some instances where as a trainer, you are much more effective if you have a dog that can be your helper dog and teaching another dog, because there's going to be instances where you're going to need that. can't believe that trainer said it was okay to take a half-blind puppy into the dog park without any foreknowledge or instructions prior to going. It bugs me. And I've been thinking about it for a couple days. I wanted to do a video and talk about it, but I didn't know if I wanted it to be a training video or event video, so it is what it is. Listen, there are some fastic trainers out there, and there are some trainers that I wouldn't give you a nickel for them. And that one is one. Don't take your puppy to the dog park and let them get beat up. Just don't, you know? Unless you can control the dogs that are in there, and it's only dogs that you know and will be gentle and nice with your dog and play correctly. You know, good dog play looks like this. The dogs jump together, play together, and break apart. It's give and take. They will play together and then give each other space, like an automatic space. The dogs will be balanced in their play. It won't be one dog's beating up another dog all the time. You know, it's give and take. And if anybody's giving any kind of signals, you know, any submission signals, the other dog's got to stop, or you got to stop them. It's just, otherwise you're going to have problems later. Especially the dog that's blind in one eye, you know? Because like when I reached down just to kind of pat his head because he was nosing at me a little bit, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll pat your head. You know, you're a really cute, sweet dog. I reached down towards his blind eye, not knowing. And he kind of snapped at my hand, you know, he snapped at my hand and mouthed my hand a little bit. And, you know, and right away she yelled at him, oh, don't do that. And I was like, and she said, oh, I'm sorry, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And she's like, oh, well, you know, he's blind in that eye. Oh, okay. So then I got myself in front of him and came straight towards him so that he could focus on me, and he was lovely. Greeted me very nicely. Very nice. But that's something like, your dog is blind in one eye. You need to teach him to not mouth hands and not snap at hands that come from his blind side, because what if that was some little kid who doesn't know better? And I'm thinking, and I said to her, I said, is your trainer addressing any of those things? Oh, no. Oh, right now we're just teaching him to walk on a leash. Oh, and I noticed a 5-month-old puppy, you already have a martingale collar on him. Have you tried teaching him in any other methods? No, she just told me to put this collar on him to control him. Martingale collars, prong collars, e-collars, in that order, should be the last resort, not the first attempt at training your dog to walk nice on a leash. Okay? They do so much damage to their neck. You should have your dog in a harness. Just okay. So I'll tell you, when I first got Cookie, you know, I was a little rusty because I'd been out of the dog area, you know, dog training business for a while. You know, I hadn't had a dog in a while, so I was a little rusty and impatient. I would say impatient was the word, not really rusty. And our healing behavior wasn't progressing the way I thought it should. So I put a martingale collar on her. Now, I have a very light touch. I never yanked on her. I would just give a little pull, so she'd feel that little bit of squeeze, right? And no jerks, nothing like that. Well, a month goes by, and I take her to the vet for her regular vet checkup, you know, chiropractic adjustment. And he says, she's showing a lot of pain in her neck. Did she fall or something? Or get grabbed by another dog or something? I said, no. And then he noticed the martingale collar. And he goes, what's with the collar? And I said, well, you know, we've been working for a while on healing, and it's just not progressing the way I'd like it to. So I thought maybe the martingale collar would help a little bit. And he said, and this is after only like not even a full month of using it. Probably like closer to 3 weeks using it. And he said, get rid of the collar and step up your training technique. Try a different technique, but get rid of that collar. He says, he said that if he had $1 for every dog in a collar that has neck issues, he'd be a wealthy man and wouldn't have to be a vet anymore. Okay? Just because your dog doesn't act like they're in pain doesn't mean that they're not in pain. They're predators, so their instinct is to hide any pain that they have. He says the damage that is done to a dog's neck wearing a collar, even one hard yank, can mess up their neck, mess up their thyroid gland. So get the dog out of the collar and step up your training. That's what he told me. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And I took the collar off of her. The only time she wears a collar now is when she's actually running agility on the course, because their regulations are they have to be in a collar without tags and nothing that could get hung up. I guess that's it for my vent today. Dog training vent video. That's about all I can handle doing. My arm's getting tired from holding up my phone. I really got to remember my selfie stick. That way it can be out a little further rather than like, "Oi!" Now, see, my husband will watch it and think that's hysterical. So, how do you find a good dog trainer? If you can't trust certifications, and you sometimes can trust those that are not certified to be a good trainer, how is one supposed to find a good dog trainer? You know, I bought a book about that. I bought a book about that because I thought, if this is a dog trainer teaching owners how to find a good dog trainer, maybe I need to read it just to see what another dog trainer's perspective is on what a good dog trainer is and how to find one. And maybe it'll help me to connect with the owners a little bit better. Who knows? But it just amazes me how many bad dog trainers I've met out there. There's a guy I see at the dog park that he, you know, we all have one area that maybe we just can't do. And maybe he's got a dog that maybe he himself is incapable of teaching a dog how not to jump up on somebody, or maybe he does know how to train that successfully, but that particular dog just can't grasp it, like Cookie with the weave poles. Like, listen, there are some people that go to school and no matter how hard they try, they could get, you know, good grades in some classes, and in other classes, no matter how good the teacher is, they just don't grasp it or don't care to grasp it. So some things, you know, some things people just can't learn or have a harder time learning. So anyway, I think that's it for this video. I think I went on way longer than I wanted to. I wanted this to be like a really short video, little rant. But we're gonna stop here so I can enjoy some of my hike in peace and quiet. This is a nice little place, there's a little stream back there. And so I want to tell you to have a good day, be blessed, and go play with your dog. And be patient with your dog and patient with yourself, okay, if you are trying to train your dog. And if you have any questions about whether or not you think your trainer is a good trainer, put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to, you know, steer you in a direction. And your trainer may be great, your trainer may stink, who knows, you know. All right, well, have a good day. Be blessed. Play with your dog.